Okay, we're in round 2, playing first. Let's see what we got here. This hand's fine. Can power out some 4-drops or get a Mull Drifter in a pinch. Augur's not bad either. We'll keep it. Alright, so I do believe we're powering out the Signet before the Augur. I just like it a bit more. Let's see if we get 4 spiked here. Alright, no 4 spike. Very good. We're playing against the counterspell deck. Blue-red. Uh-oh. Little Scepter, huh? What do we got on there? Lightning Helix. Alright, well, it's a bit of a clock. Ooh, there's our Tinker. Beautiful. Alright, well, this is a bit of a predicament. I only have 1 blue source. I think we just go for the Tinker. Get rid of our Signet. I mean, I could just do Ponder, hope to draw a blue source. Is that greedy? It might be greedy. I do kind of want to hit my land drop, though. So if I Ponder and I don't hit a blue source, I don't get to do anything. But then I can upkeep Tutor, but then I still won't hit a land source. I do kind of want to hit my land here. If he has a counterspell for this, if he has a counterspell for Tinker, we're in some trouble. I'm going to Ponder. If I don't have a land in the top 3, that sucks, but we'll see if we got it. Alright, good. I have plenty of lands. Alright, so let's just draw our island now. No shuffle. Play the land. Pass. So now we can Tinker, and if the Tinker doesn't work out, we're on a Consecrated Sphinx plan. We're looking alright. Lightning Helix is theoretically a little bit difficult to race, but we'll see if he's got counter spells here. We're going to be able to play pay rather for Spike and Daze, which is also nice. So no problem. You got your Helix, sir. Blightsteel. Alright, see if we can get there with the Blightsteel. Blue, I mean, he's got bounce effects potentially, like Jace the Mind Sculptor. That would certainly be a big deal. Alright, concession. Very good. Okay, so we don't have much of a sideboard. That was well established after the last one. We can do Ancient Grudge, in which case Rootbound Crag does not work, but Steam Vents does. And Mox Emerald works, theoretically. But that's not all that good. Let's be honest, it's not all that good. Maze of Eth looks a little bit less exciting in this matchup. But, I mean, he still could have creatures. It's way too early to say he doesn't have creatures. We just saw an Isochron Scepter. Is it worth bringing in an Ancient Grudge if the only ways I can play it are an Arid Mesa, a Steam Vents? Probably not. Even though I can find it with Mystical Tutor. I mean, I feel like I should be able to pretty consistently race Isochron Scepter if it's Helix underneath it, but I'm going to have a much harder time if he gets like a counter spell underneath it. It's a pretty good. That's just dirty, actually. It's pretty filthy. I don't know. You got to get past a little counterspell wall each turn. That would be tough. Ancient Grudge would be a good way to do it, but not in this deck. Sort of Light and Shadow looks a bit worse, just color protection wise, but it's okay. Do I want Procession or Lingering Souls rather than Maze of Ith? I kind of do. Is that wrong? It's too early to say Maze of Ith is bad, I think. But just considering he's blue-red, it doesn't strike me as... He also is black. It doesn't strike me as a color combination that's got good creatures. I feel like he's more of a burn deck. Maze of Ith is going to be worse. So I almost want like a Spectral or a Lingering Souls. Probably a Spectral, since I can't flashback Lingering Souls, but triple white. This is more like 2 and 2 white, is basically how I have to look at it. I think I'm doing Spectral. We'll try that. See if I like that more. Bring back the Maze if I see something I can't deal with. Turn 1 Signet. Loving it. Opponent mauls. Keeps it 6. So we get to go turn 1 Signet. I think we're just going to Chrome Mox our image, which is fine. So we get to go Chrome Mox Signet, and then begin the digging process. Ooh, turn 2 Glenolindra? Yes, please. So let's Chrome Mox. We're going to go ahead and ditch the image. I like Glenolindra more. Play the Signet. This could get, well, no, not so much. All right, so next turn we can find, I guess we don't have to find a blue source now. We've got 2 blue sources, so let's get our second white source. And then we'll drop Glenolindra, which is quite good. So we'll find a Savannah. We don't need the green. Maybe I don't need to get the non-basic then. I don't think I need the green, right? I don't see anything that needs it. Alright, let's just get that then. Let's drop a Glenolindra. Oh, man. Tapped wrong. So tap the Signet first, folks. Quite simple. You do it that way. See if he's got the counter for it. No. All right, very good. So next turn we can Muldrifter, or we can Preordain if I want to hit my land drop. I don't know if I want to Gideon necessarily. He did resolve his Isochron, but that's all right. This looks familiar. I can still at least counterspell it a little bit. I think we Muldrifter here. But I may actually want to cast Muldrifter. But if I Preordain, I'm digging for Tinker. Yeah, let's dig for Tinker. Augur and Sword of Light and Shadow. Those are both fine. Especially since he can't, if I resolve that, he can't even Lightning Helix it. And we can easily race. So that makes sense to me. So I gotta leave them both on top and draw the sword and play it here, which is fine. But then I can't. I see. Well, maybe I Muldrifter instead then. Problem is if I play the sword, I can't leave up the counterspell, but I don't think that matters. He'd have to play something pretty good for me to care about it. It's still pretty tough to deal with that. Red's got the artifact hate, but he's probably on the Helix plan. Helix can't even get rid of Archmage. Archmage, rather. Let's, I do kind of want to just play the sword, though, because next turn I'm getting Augur, which I could have bottomed, by the way, but I like that it digs for Tinker. Let's just play the sword, because then if I can equip it next turn, he's in some really big trouble next turn. If this sword is equipped on that Glenelindra with sacrifice protection, I think he's in some pretty big trouble. He pretty much has to, unless he has an answer for Glenelindra that's pretty good, or the sword, he has to leave up Lightning Helix so he can cast it in response to me equipping. And then I can still counter if I want. And maybe I don't, and then I just re-equip. That might actually be the best. If that's the best he's got. See what he's got. Uh-oh. Jace, huh? Well, should have left up the Glenelindra. Instant regret. Instant, immediate regret. Alright. So, plan now. Yeah, leaving up the... It cost me really, really badly there. That was like the worst it could have been, unfortunately. It literally is the worst it could have been. I can't think of a spell I don't want to stare down when my opponent's got an Isochron. So, we're in pretty big trouble now. I got to come up with a good way to get back in this. I need mana so I can equip Sword. If I play Augur and equip Sword, he can bounce it. But that might not be bad. I think that's the plan I'm going to do now, because just playing Glenelindra doesn't actually do anything. In fact, it does absolutely nothing. So I think it's better to play Augur, potentially find Tinker. Although at this point, Tinker is becoming less and less. It's already rapidly become less relevant, but that's okay. Let's play Augur. Let's dig a little bit, possibly find something useful. So nothing. All right, we miss. That happens. Now we equip. So he can't Lightning Helix it. He can bounce it. But I can at least, I don't even know, force him to dig more with Jace. Just kicking myself so hard right now for not leaving Glenelindra Archmage up. That could honestly prove to be the end of me. I got greedy for that sword play. So he's brainstorming now, which I'm not sure what that means. He can't Helix it, and now he can only bounce it, from what I see. Interesting. All right. So we get a land drop here. Guess we attack Jace. See, I could pre-combat play Glenelindra. I'm trying to think what that does. It gives me counterspell, but he's got counterspell mana. He can't play Cryptic. Just something important to keep in mind. Let's just attack first. Could have ice or whatever, but we'll see. Just loses Jace. Wow. All right, well, can't say I was expecting that. Let's get the Glenelindra out there. And she resolves? Nice. Alright. Well, if he helixes her, I'm not going to counter it, so I can leave up counter on his turn. It makes more sense. Yeah, this is actually fine. So she'll persist. I'm not going to counter that one. I'd rather have counterspell up. So if he wants to do it again on his turn, I'll counter that one. But otherwise, he's not going to... I'm not going to let him cast anything relevant. Alright, well, you got me there. No plays. 4 cards in hand. Alright, well, that works for me. Let's go ahead and get in with Augur. Get back our Glenolindra, replay it. And I think we'll just win like this. We're definitely winning this. Just based on this. Because now he has to Scepter and play another spell once again. And we've got this like endless chain of, yeah. So we're dealing damage to him while he's just keeping Glenolindra in check, which he's not even really doing because we still get to counter anything creature based that he may or may not do. Now we can even Muldrifter to get the full value. Yeah, this is pretty good. Alright, so I think we counter here. Oh, I see. This is still going to work. So we'll pay our 1. Counter that. Draw. See if we get a blue source. We don't. That's okay. So now we get in once again with Augur. Yeah, we're certainly winning this race, I think. I mean, we're keeping his mana occupied. Yeah, I don't think he can beat this chain here. And like I said, if he gets off doing this to Glenolindra, I can just Muldrifter for some huge value. Just start drawing cards like crazy. Caracas, nice. It's just a land. Alright. Well, we can Muldrifter and then get in with Augur and Glenolindra. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll evoke Muldrifter. I left up all blue sources, but that's okay. Yep. So we'll go ahead and counter that. Get our Muldrifter. He's evoked. We draw some cards. Attack with Augur. Get our dude back. Probably even Ponder at that point. Play another land. Ponder. Blightsteel goes... I think we're gonna... Although Spectral's not bad either. Let's... Let's shuffle these. I don't want to deal with. Although, I can compulsive and then discard. Yeah, that actually works too. Do I want those other spells now? Yeah, why not? Oh, wait, I accidentally shuffled. Well, it worked out. We got a better card. So now yep, we just pass. All right. He's got to basically, yeah. We're keeping him off the, yeah. We're getting card advantage. A lot of much more beneficial things are happening for us. Not bad. Let's drop a Savannah. We don't have to show him Caracas yet. Let's Muldrifter with Evoke. Just in case. Draw some more cards. Get in. So we can counter that. I didn't leave up a second white source for Blade Hold, which is definitely a mistake. So I guess we just counter that again. So he doesn't gain life. Do use that. Deal some damage to him. We've got 4 resources. Yeah, I really botched it by not leaving a second white source up. Unfortunately, I could compulsive. I'm trying to think what that does. I don't know what that does. Definitely botched it. Definitely botched it. So how do I recover and make this turn worthwhile? Compulsive, potentially draw a Blightsteel and ditch it, but then I can't get my Glenolindra back because I shuffle. I think I just pass and discard. I don't know. Probably just discard Muldrifter. It's done its job. I've got enough card draw. Could have done the compulsive actually, but because I can get the Muldrifter back, even though I just did it to get it back, it's still fine. Uh-oh. Do I have to worry about Time Vault now? Am I going to lose to that? That's a bummer. Well, I'm actually not, because I can attack Tezzeret if he does it. If he finds Time Vault, I can just kill Tezzeret. I think I have to kill Tezzeret anyway. But that was really kicking myself. Really kicking myself for not playing that hero. That could be very game-breaking. I think I want to attack Tezzeret here, to be honest. Although getting Glenolindra back's pretty good too. But letting him search up Time Vault's pretty big deal. But him being tapped out, ugh. Alright, let me play a land. What does that bring me up to? 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could have 9 resources. Attack, get back Glenolindra. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Leave up Glenolindra. Yeah, let's do that. So that's the plan. We're going to attack him because if I attack Tezzeret, I don't get the full value. So I'll attack him. If I leave, the thing is, if I leave Tezzeret alive and he has Time Vault in hand, I'd rather just have Glenolindra anyway. So let's get our Glenolindra back. And then we drop Glenolindra. Let's just tap our blue sources this time. I gotta leave one blue source up. Play hero. Yep. I guess we're going to lose the Time Vault if he's got it in his hand. But I was going to, like I said, I was going to lose to it anyway, if that were the case. Actually, yeah, he can't necessarily win with Time Vault because Mana Crypt's going to get the best of him at some point if he flips poorly. So even if he has Time Vault here, he has to Lightning Helix first and foremost, on our Archmage, so he can even resolve it. Otherwise, he has to dig it up with this, in which case he doesn't get to take the extra turn unless he has like a Time Walk. So first and foremost, he has to nuke the Archmage if he wants to cast any non-creature spells here, which I think he has to. Well, I can't counter that effect. Could get a Pithing Needle to name Glenelindra. That would work. Failed to find? That's interesting. That was weird. Did he accidentally forget to click, or... I don't know exactly what happened. That was weird, though. I'm going to counter this because I imagine he's... Oh, wait, what's going on? I mean, if he casts Lightning Helix, I have to counter it. If it's targeting Archmage, I have no choice. I have to prevent him from gaining the life. Should be dead already. Should have a Hero Blade holdout. Should have had it last turn, I mean, but yeah, I tapped my mana really unintelligently. Both Swords and Paths seem pretty worthless in this matchup. We haven't seen a creature yet. All right, I don't know what happened. I imagine he tried to dig up Voltaic Key, and he failed. Because what he could have done, let me think about this. This is what he could have done. 2 mana, Helix, I counter it. He's left with 4, potentially 5 mana. Searches up Voltaic Key, or he doesn't even have to do that. He just doesn't search. I don't know what the one search was for. That's the part that's confusing me, because if he played Time Vault, he just wins if he had Tezzeret. And because he had the resources to keep me off Glenelindra and play Time Vault and then just untap it. But the dilemma is he's got Mana Crypt out, so taking the extra turns would inevitably kill him unless he had a good way to get rid of Mana Crypt. So he was definitely in a sticky situation. I guess that's not even true. Then he would have the Lightning Helix, so he would actually win because he would play that. Even if he's taken 3 from this, he's got the Lightning Helix to offset that. So yes, he would definitely win. But that didn't happen. He failed to find. I don't know exactly what happened, but we got there. So we'll see you in the finals.